Hello everyone, welcome. We're going to jump into a premiere draft of Zendikar Rising here on Going Optimal. We finished up our first draft on the day. Going to jump in for a second. Don't know how many games we're going to get of this today. Could be another multi-parter for our YouTube friends, but we'll see how far we get. This is weird. Like Zendikar Rising, I need to lock back in. I've been putting this up to a vote, and voting has been close, but has been Kaladesh dominated all for the past couple of weeks now, basically ever since Kaladesh launched. So kind of my first time back in Zendikar since Kaladesh launched. I'm going to have to get we got to reorient to this format, which I've been enjoying, and we'll see what it has to offer for us. I know what Card Kingdom has to offer for you. Everything you could need for your tabletop Magic game, that's what. They have cards, singles, supplies, sealed product, everything you could need. Waiting for you at cardkingdom.com. They are my sponsor. If you use my affiliate link that Skeptical Hat has brought up in chat, or you can click on the Card Kingdom panel, my panels down below. You can check out my YouTube notes. All of those have pathways to Card Kingdom from me. And of course, all of that helps keep me on the air, because then they know you're doing your business with them thanks to me. So keep it up. It matters. It happens. I look at the numbers. We sit down with Card Kingdom. We break it down. All right, we're ready. Getting drafting soon. YouTube friends, remember you can give me a like, a follow. That would be sweet. All right, what do? We have an Oran Reef Ooze. That's a bomb. Is it a bomb? Maybe it's not a bomb. It's worth the first pick, though, right? If it goes unchecked, it's pretty bomby. It's fun, if not a bomb, right? And what else do we like? Excuse me. What else do we like? We've got a Feed the Swarm that jumps out. Regrowth is okay. Rabid Bite really might even be the second best card here. Maybe it's Feed the Swarm, but I like a Rabid Bite too. Field Research, strong, blue common. We're going to start with Ooze. I love green-blue in the format. Maybe we'll find ourselves in some sort of kicker deck, although Ooze points to green-black, which is kind of where the counters are at, but you don't have to play a counters deck just to make this good. It's just kind of good. Thank you, Comrade Cards. Appreciate it. What do we like here? Electromancer is a good card. We could just take an Arbor Mage. Predation is okay. All the spell lands are fine, you know, but I probably just want to follow with an Arbor Mage. If there were some premium removal here, I would just take premium removal, but given the lack of premium removal, I'm in for a quality card that matches our first pick. You like the Might? I like the Might too, but this is kind of mightier than Might. I mean, this is game winning, whereas Might can be, but this is more replaceable as well. Saw a green uncommon, got a little excited for a second, but this is not a particularly good green uncommon. This was somewhat of not a functional reprint. Obviously, it does something a little different, but it's somewhat of a reprint of a card that existed in the first Zendikar set, and it wasn't that good there either. So we just go Pack Beast here, really. Yeah, we can take Elf Wizard, but yeah, maybe it's worth cutting colors to take the Elf Wizard. I like a Pack Beast for general playability, but we are humans sending signals, and it does matter to our long-term potential to take the Visionary over the Pack Beast here. So, I don't know, a lot of people are wanting the Pack Beast, and maybe this is where, like, Luis and Marshall would scold me for worrying about signals I'm sending downstream, but I think they matter. It does matter to cut green early. Like, this helps us. I'm going to take the green card. It's good, and it cuts our color. I like it. Veteran Adventurer is fine as well, but the green splans are great. The uncommon green splans, I love them. You get the recovery and the fight. Both of them are great. So I'm going to take recovery. Rogue jumps out at me as probably the best card here. There is a Chronicler, though. I'm going to take Chronicler. I know you're right, Jinx, but you're also biased towards black in the format. This has higher upside. This is the better card, just straight up. Like if I were not going to improve my deck at all, which is of course silly, we only have 4 picks, I'd be with Jinx on the Rogue, and Jinx might even be right here that it is the Rogue. But I love blue-green so much, and I love blue-green kicker so much, and we're already basically locked into green. I'm gonna take the Chronicler. Bias is always a factor, Jinx. Bias is always a factor. Vision here is fine. Stomper would be arguable. Oh yeah, I acknowledge my biases. I mean, at least I acknowledge mine. Where's your acknowledgement of yours? I'm gonna take the vision. I think it's good enough. We can take Moss Pit in case we do find our way into the black side of things. Pretty late Moss Pit. Well, we could lean into it. Like, I don't know that we're blue yet. This is just a spell land we took because it's a spell land that might be on color. This is a hedge if we end up specifically doing the kicker thing. But we could end up definitely, like, Oran Reef Ooze likes the Moss Pit skeleton more than the blue stuff anyway. Reclaim, though, is where I'm going to go here over Ascetic or Kite Sail or really anything else. Reclaim is a nice pickup here. Jinx wants Ascetic. 5s are replaceable. This could help us splash, and it does also work in the kicker deck. So for me, it's pretty straightforward. Reclaim. Roiling Regrowth continues to help with both the splash and potential landfall, but don't like Reclaim ever. I don't think that's a leak. I think there are times where you want to reclaim. We could take a Skitter Sneak. We could take gems. We just take some gem building. Yeah, I think gems probably is correct here. Let's do some modeling. I mean, if you don't care about gems at all, you probably take the Sneak or one of these. But for our stream and for our mentality, taking a rare that late is pretty no-brainer. Zendikar isn't bad, but it's replaceable. We can take a Brute here. Speaking of replaceable 3s, I mean, there's a Deliberate we could get, but I'm going to take the Brute. We know we're green, at least. We are really an Icicle at 3, though. Take these broken wings. I might play that main, but I'll take a... Yeah, I take the Broken Wings. I'd play that main over the 1/4 or the Archer. I know it's a rogue, so we might be able to do some party stuff with that. And I guess if I knew I was getting a second one, we'd do that. Zarath San is starting to reward us for having Roiling Regrowth and the Reclaim that Jinx never likes. But I like a Reclaim. It can work like a tune to Ether, or if you get there, you can kick it. And I like the recovery as well, but this is somewhat of a reward for having carved out this path in green. And we might even wheel this Moss Pit. I'm starting to think we're green-black. Pablo thinking like me there, that we might get a second Moss Pit out of the wheel. If people aren't doing this, they don't really want it. And there were some good cards in the pack, so hopefully people will find other things they want. Yeah, it's not as good, but it's still easily splashable and quite good. And we still may end up with some rogues, right? I passed the Reach rogue, but if we get some Death Touch 1/1 rogues, I'm in. Yeah, here's a rogue we don't want. Subtle Strike or Bubble Snare or Sure-Footed Infiltrator are pressing us to a decision. We could take his off consumption as well. Why don't we take sure-footed, and then we might be able to do shenanigans where we can use it to then get Zareth in. Yeah, the relic is okay, but I don't think it's what we want to do here, Haj. Do you like it? I mean, it does help with the splash, but I'd rather just splash through Reclaim and Roiling and stuff. Yeah, let's take the Infiltrator as a Zareth support play. And then see what else we want to get done. We could take Tabaraks here, kind of ending up in a weird 3-color party deck. This could be the deck for a Beetle. It's true. But I bet we might even wheel this Beetle. Maybe I take a feed over the Tabaraks anyway. I take Wizard. Had to make a call there. I went with the Wizard. This is proving to be a weirdish little draft here. This is an interesting place for us. Now look at what we got in the blue-green deck. Royal Mage, Sproutling, Snare, Falconer. I think we're on... I mean, we might wheel the Skeleton, but we're not seeing a bunch of other great black. We're seeing medium black. Yeah, we need removal, but I'm going to be super greed and take the Sproutling. I'm taking Sproutling because it's green. We know we're green. And I'm going to take another one. I mean, there's a Stalker, there's another Infiltrator, but I like just another Sproutling. I think blue-green, yeah. Stalker is great with Zareth, but we have time. We'll get... Those are commons. I'm taking... The Sproutling is so hard to replace. It's so good. Amulet. We do have Arbor Mage and Visionary on the Wizard front. Sproutling is great with Sproutling, too. Too bad Sproutling is not a Wizard. You think Amulet is enough here? We're talking about Wizard if not. So it's Spland or Amulet. And if we look at... We got 7 seconds. 4 Wizards. I'm going to go with the Wizard land. We only have 4 Wizards right now. And of course, it also counts spells. So it's not like that's nothing, but... Stalker here, I like to support the Infiltrator and the Zareth Sand over a Shell Shield, which does some of the kicker tricks or whatever, but we can get Shell Shields pretty late. Riptide also interesting. So being pulled kind of in Zareth support direction and kicker, but no, I think we are. I think Zareth is worth it, and we already have the fixing to do it. I'll take an Amulet here, though. Yeah, we have a ton of 3s, you're right. All right, the Skeleton came around. But so did the Recovery. I think we just had to take the Recovery. I mean... This is tempting and signally, and we're low on 2s, so there is that. Boy, but I'm going to take the Recovery. And now we have to decide, we can take this rare to help with the splash, another Spland. Ah! Table, what are you telling us? It's got kicker as well. All right, let's take the land. And Squid is pretty good here. Helps us with our 2s. I don't think maybe we're splashing Pit Skeleton, but I don't think we're playing this anymore. I think we're green, blue, splash Zareth. And I do think it's worth the splash. Yeah, that's... Well, if we end up hard black... But you got a great point, Haj. It's not really a spell. What would you have taken there? Ooh, Roost. Hello, baby. Hello, baby. Hello, buddy. Hello, friend. Hello, plan. I mean, I don't know how much we're doing in, let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're not heavily there yet, but we're going to focus on it. Yeah, I wasn't doing a count that might produce a result where we don't take the roost. I was just curious how good the roost was. There's also crawling barons, but in our deck, we're going to take the roost. It's crazy to pass crawling barons too, which is fantastic. Yeah, Jinx, slam on the brakes, buddy. And really read this card before you talk about terrible. It's not terrible, and you're anybody screaming about Zareth Sand being a terrible splash without rogues is not reading the card. I just don't know how you come up with that. Horn Beetle could still be the pick here. What do we want it over? There's Scythe Kitty. What I'm thinking about is our ooze. So we want attackers with counters on them. So that maybe means it's kitty time. Oh, sorry. It's not really what I wanted. I tried to go and take the other thing and missed. Another 3. We're going to take another Arbor Mage here. I wouldn't mind a Survivor, but Scythe Kitty is what I wanted. This could still end up playing and being okay for us, though. Weird deck forming here. Let's get some good kicker stuff now. Here's the fight land that we were talking about. Guess we'll take that. I mean, try and splash a Rock Slide Sorcerer for what we're up to here, but I'm fine with Ambush. I just trying to tell myself something nice about the mispick. I mean, I didn't mean to pick the Horn Beetle. I just ran out of time. Yeah, green-black Beetle is pretty good, but we're not really there, right? Want to find other 2s and other kickers, my priority now. 2s and kickers. So there's a 2. This is obviously much better. Are we so desperate for 2s now that we are taking the Nectar Pot, though? We could take Stomper, but we have a top end. We don't have 2s. So if you want Stomper, you really have to acknowledge what's going on in our 2s, which is absolutely nothing. It's pack 3. I'm going to be a grown-up and take the Nectar Pot. I know, I really want a Stomper, but we are so low on 2s that I can't do it. Maybe we take a Baloth here, but I think I actually just want another Nectar Pot. I think that's where we're at, gang. I mean, I want a Chilling Trap also, but I do not want to head into battle with 2 2-drops. We just have to take 2-drops. So not loving this, not loving what we're being forced into here, but I think those weak 2-drops were the correct picks. You're right, it is barely, Fenor, but it is. It is barely, but it is. Here we go. Oh, so glad to see that. I mean, I want a Sentinel. We could take a Sentinel and try to kick that, but we really need to take something to help us live early. Another Nectar Pot. Now we're getting to the point where it's like, okay, maybe 3 Nectar Pots is too many, but I'm not going to splash a Subtle Strike or Zendikar. Maybe is the pick, though. I don't want 3 Nectar Pots, so I'm going to take Zendikar. And look, we got a Stomper back. That's nice. We can still play that. I like it over the Ascetic here. We got a lot of splans. But Hodge is right. We're not actually playing this off consumption. All right, another 2, and one that puts a counter on something for our 3-drop. So that's a excellent, excellent wheel. Whew. Like, these are so much better for us than nectar pots. Please give me 4 survivors and 0 nectar pots, but you get what you get. Yeah, Tempest over another Broken Wings since it's best of 1. Oh, that's pretty cool. We're grinding a lot of gems now, so it must mean we're close to our 4x of Zendikar. That's something. I want to make a note of that in my spreadsheet before I forget. Yeah, I may be overrating Broken Wings in my head because we're just coming off of playing a bunch of Kaladesh, where a Broken Wings effect is an easy main deck, but not really here. You're right. And actually, with the number of spell lands we have, we're probably not going to have that many cuts to make either, but I do want to get my spreadsheet started for the day. Or at least I want to make a note of this one, which has some grinding to make note of. We paid 0 gold, 1,500 gems, and we got 80 on the grind. Nice. All right. So let's count our splans and see how many lands we actually need. We may be just really close to to our deck right off the bat here, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22. That's 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18. We do have a Reclaim the Wastes and a Roiling Regrowth. If we decide to cut it, like, we could decide to cut the splash, but here is the splash. Here, let me get to deck building too, get out of your way a bit. And then Zareth is over here with Splash Land. And then we can get a temp. Take a look at it like this. Let's say this were just a 4/4 for 5 with flash. That's not good enough to splash. I'm with you on that. Like, you know, anybody saying that this is not good enough to splash or not good. Simply a 4/4 flash is not something worth splashing, but we do have rogues and we do have the ability to get it in unblocked. And boy, 4/4 flash for 5 is fine. Maybe you don't splash for it, but it's fine. And then it has this ability where sometimes you just accidentally win the game because of the extra rules text on it. I'm in for it. Yeah, I disagree, Fenner. I don't think it's that bad. We can cut this. We can cut the Tempest. Yeah, we can cut the Zendikar. Cut Brute. Yep, we're not really doing any party stuff, and we're thick at 3. I think this is our deck. I mean, I'm also open to a second swamp. Some people are nervous about one swamp. I get that. It would give us another source. You know, we'd have 4 sources for our splash. We don't have much to play besides what we have, unless we're going to run a main deck Broken Wings. So, yeah, I'm with you, Jim. That's the problem. The problem with one swamp is there's a lot of oppo mill in the format. So we could run a second swamp. I kind of want to cut a spell and not another land. Like, I'd rather just use more of our splans as spells and find the weakest of this stuff. The last minute survivor maybe says we could even cut a nectar pot. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards we're willing to play before turn 3 right now. Amulet, yeah, we can check Amulet. I think it's going to be good enough, though. We have 6 wizards, so 13 triggers for the Amulet. Maybe the Amulet can go. It's a little clunky, but it is also one of our 2s, where if we have it on 2, we're like, yes. I also don't want to lose the Surefoot. We can make it unblockable. We have this rogue. We have this rogue. So we have rogues that can make it unblockable, and then Zareth Sand really likes unblockable rogues. Never cutting squid over the nectar pot. I like the squid much more than the nectar pot. I'm really surprised on that, Fiddles, because to me the nectar pot is barely playable. To me the squid is legit solid. Not amazing, but it's solid. Because it tends to do stuff in both aggro and control. In control, it tends to trade up, offering 3 power for 2 mana. And in aggro, if you hit your land drops, it's attacking pretty heftily for a blue card. Anyway, I do like finding I do like the splash. I do like the second swamp. Yeah, no, we got to be more clever than that. We're going to call it like, what's a name for bad weed? It's like here, shake. Skunkweed. These days, skunkweed can refer to good weed, but I hear you. Riptide. Can't be any of these. Can't be any of these. So it's gotta be a nectar pot. I'm cutting a nectar pot. I don't like it anyway. I hate that I'm running 2. I hate that I'm running 1, much less 2. So I'm gonna do that. All right. Note to self, don't take Stovetop's advice coming up. But glad you're here. Try to entertain you. Looks good enough. Let's give it a shot. How do you think we're going to do here? All right, we can keep this. Really glad we got that that Stomper in the end, because we do have a lot of spell lands that we're going to be happy to have access to. Do I have... All right, for a second I thought I had a Mozon or something, and was like, what? If they send, I'm going to snap block. Because, I mean, at most they have a Might of Marasa, which we could respond with. I don't even know. Ask Hat. He made that poll. I just work here. Yeah, maybe it's just the this deck is a joke. There's the Reclaim from Oppo. We got one of those somewhere. We're going to go Wizard next turn, though, and then have Vision. Really liking the spell lands. They really do so much for this format. Something else. Next turn, we can Vision and Chronicler. Although it kind of wastes one of the flight activations. I should have decided whether I'm going to attack first or not. I would actually trade either of these, though. So I'm going to send this. I should have done this when I had all my mana open. So it's a minor mistake to have played out my Wizard all excitedly before deciding my attack. But I'm pretty easy with trading off the creatures that have already gotten me value of a card. So... let's go with Chronicler, and then maybe we'll Vision at the end of their turn. Swing and a miss, unfortunately. We don't have a ton of kicker, unfortunately, but I was hoping we'd find one there. Gonna hold land now to loot away when we do kick. Speaking of kick, well, I guess we send our Wizard back. It's not the worst. Oh yeah, I've told this story before, but I had a friend whose mom also thought LOL in the early days of the internet meant lots of love, and would say these really inappropriate things to people, mistaking it. Like, sorry to hear about your dad passing away, LOL. Like, seriously. Like, that's a bad one to mistake that way. Well, we could trade Squid for Might, but we don't need to. Let's just Vision here. Wow, whiffing on the Vision is some rough. Like, how about this? Like, the Vision would have found something from the Coral Helm hand, and the Coral Helm would have found something from the Vision hand. We just got two different ones. We got them in the wrong order, gang. No, he didn't think it was a punt either. That's why he did an exclamation point it. He was just joking. I played out land, even though I said it was going to hold, because this way... Oh, I'm not going to... Oh, yeah, this way we have Might up. Yeah, I'll try to shuffle better next time, gang. Hang in there. Ideally, like, next turn, I just Might of Marasa, the Wizard, and... I don't know. Let's see what happens here. But we may just do a big 9-point smack with the Wizard next turn just to loot away the forest and find something else with the Chronicler ability. And suggest they don't have anything of their own. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and just take this. I think we can still handle this race, especially if we find something here, although a fellow kicker deck has 7 mana and 4 cards, so I'm also not super confident here. There you go. Bubble Snare. Can I kick it? Yes, they can. Can they kick it? Well, recovery, not bad. You want to get a visionary or a vision? Which do we want back? I like sending in both here, though, first, because we might kick. I'm going to send in. It looks like maybe we're being silly and maybe they'll block. I don't know. Let's give them a chance to block. Visionary can't whiff. That is true. I am going to go spend 5 here. We may not do the Balaged this turn anyway. I know we could win without kicking, but what I'm trying to do by kick is get a rummage. I'm basically paying to loot here. And we are going to pitch the land. I could have just played this as land to gain life if I'm going to stomp next turn and bring it back. Yeah, that's the other thing we could do is... do it that way. But here we go. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. We got 7 mana. We could Riptide and recover something. We could recover and play the Visionary, draw a card, and have a blocker for everything they've got on the ground. That doesn't completely suck either. And then Stomper eventually gets us another Wizard. I'm going to play Riptide and do the recovery now, I think. I'm just not sure what to get yet. I'm going to start with an attack with the... we can attack with both. We do want to keep the race going here. Ooh, they may have something. All right, they have a might of their own. All right. Well, I'm glad they didn't use that to further their cause in the race. We could go ahead. We could get this back if we wanted to, if we thought that this would be more value than even the other wizard. We know that, like... You'd Stomper this turn. Just have big blocks up. Okay, then we can also figure out where we're at next turn. That's fair. So we can even go... If we do that, then let's play this as land. And get it back. Here's the graveyard. Ah. Well, that gives them a reasonable threat of pump here. But it doesn't mean we're dead. Actually, we can just stomp and then recover. I'm going to go ahead and make them use it now. And we still get a trade. And then we can still get it back if we want. A squid of our own. And us on 6 mana. Unless we want to play recovery as land, which we don't. We could go Squid, Riptide, and then save these for next turn. But I think we just want to get the wizard going and try to both block the small stuff and win in the air. So I'm going to play wizard here. holding all of this. They're top decking. Unlikely that we're going to die to a top deck they have. And we are going to just take it from the squid. We're going to get defenses up shortly. Arbor Mage is interesting. We could force block and trade the wizard for these two. Well, of course, the wizard's going to fly. We could actually make the nectar pot. Nah, we're going to save that. We're going to save that. Yeah, we're going to go squid wave. And then just attack wizard. And if they want to, are you okay with them? I mean, if they want a 2-for-1 themselves to kill the wizard, I'm pretty good with it, with the Arbor Mage and the recovery. So, yeah, go ahead. Trade your 2 creatures for this wizard. If you do, you're top decking with a squid and a squid only, and I like that spot for us, so... And now we can just win. As we were saying, someone as we were drafting wanted the might over Arbor Mage, but we just said, but Arbor Mage wins games, and here's where we prove it, right? Oh, I didn't win the game because I didn't play the land, but they scooped. So I made a little mistake, but they didn't capitalize on it anyway. Actually, I'm not sure. Yeah, we should just take lethal if we had it, but there's no way they were winning that game. It was lethal if I used the Spland as a land. And they had to block everything. They were dead. I didn't unpunch you. I just explained how much it mattered. We've kind of been on the Spland train around here from the beginning, basically. Gotcha and true. This isn't amazing, but it's okay. We get a 1, 2, 3 start, and then given that our 1, 2, 3 is all on basics, we also know that a lot of our lands that we're going to draw in the future are actually spells, so we're in a good spot for leveraging our Splans as well. We want the squid now. It threatens to trade with the Blade Master technically, and next turn we can Nectar Pot land and both attack with the squid and get the life gain. And I will offer a trade here. I don't really care about this squid all that much. Would we trade a Blight Blade for either one of those? Well, Blight Blade would just get eaten by the Blade Master, so can't attack with that. Never mind. I think I updated this to the right one. Let's see.
Warriors, come out to play.
Cool. I'm very good with that trade. Spinning your Sharns over here. only gets lands, but geez, it gets 2 cards. That's pretty darn good. And it's pretty darn big. Glad to have a Death Toucher right now. And, you know, glad to have an 0-5 that also blocks. We got a Stomper on 6, if nothing else. But usually the cool thing about Stomper is it gets you back those sweet spell lands, but we don't even need that this time. We just have all basics up to 6. Big Flyer could be tough. What are we going to do about that? We could kick the Sproutling for no value, and just to get a Riptide 5/5 and threaten to attack with that. But I don't see doing that just because the Sproutling doesn't do anything much on this board anyway. I'm gonna, yeah, I'm gonna just pass. We'll save this as a value play for later, and go ahead and drop a 6/5 next turn though. Getting cold again. It's almost like the heat's been off of in my house since 9 o'clock. Ugh! Yikes! Well, new plan. We're gonna Arbor Mage a Stomper and try to get rid of a Shepherd. I don't know if they come at us in the air though. That could be tough too. We could bring back 1 land for a life gain next turn if we don't think we're going to do anything for 7. Yeah, we could have arbored the Riptide to take out a Shepherd. I don't know. We're still going to... Maybe I was supposed to, but I'm going to take 1 back to give us a life gain next turn. Summarizing our recommendations around here for optimizing your arena play. So we get to take out a lot of stuff for this 6/5 though, because we're gonna give the Stomper Lure, and then we get to kill 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or we could kill this. Anyway, we have a lot of things we could finish off here, and we're gonna try. We should think though, because we could also just give up the Riptide, depending on what we're trying to kill. Like if we want to take out Grazer, Sellsword, and Blade Master, maybe we just send the Riptide. Because that still gets all of them, right? Yeah, let's send Riptide and get 3 things and keep our Stomper. I think, can we crack back? We will have, they'll attack for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How is Rip... Yeah, we don't need... No, we can send in the blade... Well, if we want to block... Yeah, I guess we keep the blade back to threaten Yasharn. That's fair. That's basically the order. Arbor Mage, kind of a 3-for-1 there. Gave up 1 card and got 3 dead cards. But all that fancy schmancy might not help us at all if we're still just dead to flyers. Reclaim doesn't really help. Gonna go for a vision here, looking for something to help us out. I'm gonna do it main here. There we go. Fight is just what we needed. We'll take that. Might is also nice, but fight we can use right now. Take out one of the shepherds and actually have a chance here on D to find... maybe we can find... Because we ambush, we find one of our recoveries. We're recovering the ambush and we ambush the other shepherd. At least it's a plan. You want reclaim on one? I was going to go ahead and save this to kick, but maybe I mean I'll just save this to make a drake when we find our roost of drakes or something. I don't know. Or do but point is I didn't feel the need to do it there. And we're no attacking here. Uh-oh. Big guy. At least a Stomper can 1-for-1 even a landfalled Baloth. This remains the main problem up here. Swinging Stomper first just gives them options that I didn't want them to have. Nothing with Kicker in the yard, so we can't get anything back with Sproutling, but we could kick the Waste and then kick the Sproutling, right? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, I guess that doesn't actually get it all, but... Now we reclaim the Waste just to thin our deck of lands and to give us more Nectar Pot landfall, I suppose. Could play Sproutling, but at least next turn we can get Reclaim back and continue to thin, continue to try to gain little bits of life to survive this Shepherd, and hope that we continue to hold out. Uh-oh, big flyer coming. This card doesn't really have a home in this format, but I suppose if you are green-white landfall, this is the one place where I could really get behind running this card. If you're doing Yasharn and Root Grazers and stuff, then this is doing some work. But now we need to top deck, so we're in a tough spot. All right. Well, you'd think that might be enough, but if they're out of land, we're not dead. But if they have a land, we're dead. We'll play this, though. And what we can do is play the wizard and then go do some full control stuff to represent that we might have a trick to put this guy in the air with. That's about all I can think. But really, if they have if they have the land, they're not going to not attack. So a land and we're probably done, but let's see. Yeah, too bad. Felt like without a land, we might even be able to untap and find something, but that's going to do us in. I think Oppo is smart enough to attack here. Shocker. Shepherd's a good card. Those 3-powered flyers, especially high toughness, very solid, very solid. Well, tell you what, gang, I am like hungry to the point of bordering on hangry, and we're over my usual time, and we have played a couple games from this event. I think we'll sit this one tight, and we'll play it throughout the week, and I'll try to get one continuous YouTube video up for it, or at least a multi-parter on YouTube. Anyway, fun with that deck so far. I think it's pretty good. I think we'll get more wins than the one. Sad to finish with a loss here, but I think we can get to 4 wins on this deck before the end of the event, and I'll prove that throughout the week. Thank you for another great day of streaming. Thank you for being opinionated and respectful. I hope everybody's cool with my level of disrespect today, which is to say some finger wagging and some strong words and some occasional timeouts. But I hope you all get that it's all in fun. I love my community. I love that people show up here who care about Magic and are thinking about it and want to discuss how to get better and want to discuss and find out the format. So I can be a little bit of a snothead when those discussions are going on. And I'm the guy with the mic and the muting control and the ban hammer and stuff. So I'm a little power going to my head and stuff. But I just want to be clear to anybody that I timed out or disagreed with today or pushed back on. Thank you so much for being part of my community and being someone who comes here and pushes back on me, makes me be able to express what I believe clearly. You know, when you push back on my decisions, I need to be able to explain them. So it's good for everybody as long as we stay respectful and fun, which I sure hope we did. And thank you, everybody, and bye, YouTube friends.